Hey guys, my name is Kawaka, and today I'm going to be showing you 13 different shaders. So the first one is going to be Optifine's internal shaders. Now this one, all you're going to do is turn old lighting off, and it'll completely change how the game looks. You can see now that everything's a lot silkier and smoother, and it's just like game changing. Even though it doesn't change the graphics too much, you can totally tell the difference. Everything's a lot brighter too. The second shader is BSL. This one's kind of a foggy, hazy shader. It's got a really strong mood to it. Now let's go underwater. Okay, there's a glimpse of underwater. And it casts colored shadows. Here's a lantern, end rod, torch, and redstone torch. The third shader is Builder's QOL. This one is a pretty vanilla shader, and it just adds some like darker, shadowy. Yeah. You can tell the difference. It also adds wavy grass and leaves. Actually, I don't know if the leaves are wavy. No, they're not. The glass is blurry. Man, I don't know what I'm saying right now. It's got a stunning sunset. And the water is just delicious. Look at this. The water is insane. I want to swim in this water. In this shader, when you turn on dynamic lights, which would be here, a redstone torch emits a reddish light. A normal torch, end rod, lantern, campfire, they don't make a difference. But that's one of my favorite things about this. I think that's really awesome. This one's one of my favorites. It's Chukka 13. And I'm using the V8 alpha version right now. You can see underwater is stunning. It sort of refracts the water. It does not have colored glass shadow though. You can see how it looks at night. It's just crazy how good this shader is. Now here we have Continuum shaders. This one does have a colored glass shadow. The water is pretty good, as you can see. The only thing that I don't like about this shader is that the nighttime is very, very dark. If we go over here, it's one of the darkest shader night times. The next shader is Molly VX. Now this is one of the only free ray traced shaders. Obviously the water is still being worked on. I really like this one though. It's not the best for performance, but there's obviously no stained glass shadow. Night is still being worked on, as you can see. But we do have different colored light sources. I really like the end rod. I actually didn't know that before this video. Wow. This is really good. The next shader is called Raspberry. This one was created by the same developer as Molly VX, the last one. Her name is Ruthern. And I think it's still being developed actually. The water is really good. I think this was originally made to experiment with. This is like an experimental shader, and it turned into a really good one. This one does have stained glass shadows, and nighttime is pretty dark, but the glow from the torches is really cool. This is probably the best shader to get because it's insane. Look at the clouds. Look at the grass. Look at the water. This is Soos PTGI, a fully ray traced shader. It has the colored glass shadows, and the lighting is very good. Huh, and Androids actually don't emit light. And you can see, since this is ray traced, it enables for different colored light to be used. And this can come very useful. And even nighttime is really, really good. This shader is Soos Renewed. It's by the same creator as Soos PTGI, but it's a different shader. The water is very, very good. Shadows are very good. The lighting is very, very good. It's got the colored glass shadow. Has a really good sunset. And as you can see, this shader is really good. It's one of the best. This shader is Silder's Enhanced Default. This is pretty much if you took normal Minecraft and added shadows and fancy water. So it's not much different under here except for some shadows there. Water's a little bit wavy. Maybe a little bit of different lighting. It's got the colored shadows for the glass. It might be hard to tell, but night still needs to be worked on a little bit. But overall, this is a really good shader if you just like how vanilla Minecraft feels, but you just want it a little bit fancier. This shader is Silder's Vibrant Shaders. This is definitely on my top 3 list. It's just insane. I think my top 3 list is Chukka Pick 13s, this shader, and Soos PTGI. Everything about this shader is awesome. Underwater, it's really good. The shadows are amazing. It's obviously got the colored shadows for stained glass. It's even got an amazing nighttime. You can see the lighting is really good, and this is actually one of the most configurable shaders out there. You can customize pretty much every single thing with this shader. Okay, I'm not crazy about this shader. This is too many effects shader. And I've been told that most computers can't run this. My computer seems to be able to run this perfectly. I'm not sure. But, you know, it's okay. I'm not crazy about it, but that doesn't mean that it's not a good shader. Especially the nighttime kind of annoys me. As you can see, the lighting is kind of pinkish, which I don't really like. Now the last shader is Vanilla Plus. I think this shader pretty much aims to make Minecraft feel like it's always been like this. Like this is just how the graphics have always been. I don't play with this shader that much, but it's pretty good. As you can see, the clouds are greatly improved. I kind of wish every shader had an option to make your clouds like this. It has the colored stained glass shadow. Nighttime is a little bit bright, but I think you can customize this. And overall, this shader is pretty good. Now I'm going to show you what each shader looks like with rain. I'm getting it cold. This is freezing out here. Subscribe, okay? And like this video because